A cabinet secretary went, took a ballot box and disappeared.
Literally. He went, caused some drama. I mean, some stuff, went off, and then police came. He went in. He targeted the agents so they can get off. But what is interesting?
Those who are competing were basically those who stand for the Tuta movement, either as independent, as MDG, as ODM, or any other affiliated parties.
This bravado thing, like, I'm the king of the jungle, the bravado stuff.
Yeah.
But deep inside, the actuals, before you know, everybody is gone because you're still there thinking, you see, remember, historically, I'm the king. And that's what you have in Kenya today. There's somebody who is going all over the place, saying, me, I'm a destiny connector. I'm the man who is going to take us to Singapore, first world. But he doesn't know. The people left a long time ago. The more you all remember, you scare people away. So these are very good. I don't know how you got to be getting many of these every day so that we can continue reminding the system today and the president of Kenya that where he was in 2022, the people left and he's still rolling, saying, and there's nothing bad as that self-entitlement, that I am the king, when you don't know that people left a long time ago.
Okay.
It's interesting. Because these moments in which we find ourselves are quite interesting ones. So Kenya went to the mini polls, and it's a mini poll. The mini polls have happened in Kenya before. Constitutionally, when there is a mini constitutional, it's not even called a crisis, but the Constitution demands that for whatever reason, if a position should fall vacant due to natural attrition, due to promotion of an individual, or due to resignation of an individual, you have 90 days within which to replace. The IEBC then has 90 days within which to replace that individual. It so happened that because there was no IEBC in place at the time when some of these positions fell vacant, that all of them were put together. And so there were 24 positions that needed filling. But never have we seen the kind of movement around by-election that we saw last Thursday before. In fact, sometimes by-elections have happened and people don't even know that they were going on. So there were clear indications that this particular by-election was joined at the hip with what will happen in 2027. And on that level, it didn't disappoint. So let's pick up some of the pieces and do our own audits here in the room, shall we? We start with you, Dr. Mbai. That the by-elections took place, folks were declared winner at least by the next morning, and by the end of the next day, we kind of knew who was where. But also by the end of the next day, we also have heard then claims or allegations of voter bribery, about misconduct during elections, whether it came from the IEBC, two-party participants, whatever the case may be. It turned out having a bit of an bitter aftertaste. Why is that? And what exactly happened?
Thanks so much. I'm a student of politics and government. And when you want to go learning, you want to be there. That's why I've been there for 2 weeks in Bere, for example, and of course following up what is happening within our DCP parties across the country and also the United Opposition. One, you said something. Why was there a delay? By the way, let's start from there. Because there was no political goodwill to put in place an IBC. Remember, the law was very clear. The president was to, start the process, appoint the panel to appoint the members. That's number one. We are saying here, if you want to go far, we must be led by systems, and structures and procedures. That's number one to note. But before we proceed, it's good to mention, because sometimes we throw this thing under the carpet, it's good to mention in passing that today is World AIDS Day.
Yes, it is.
It's important just to take note of that. It happens once in a year. The numbers are rising. It has shifted from Luo Nyanza to Nairobi. For us, as I was looking at these statistics last night, I was thinking, can we make this conversation very normal? Especially in the target group, adolescents and young people. Let's make it normal. These people are always on TikTok. Can we have the people who concern just to make it a normal conversation so that the many tweets people do and TikTok's conversations, also the issue of AIDS becomes there so that it's normalized. It doesn't become like it's a topic out there. It's not for us because it's mostly under there. 41% infections is people under 25 years and so. That's just to mention it's important that way. But let me say this. First, I wish to congratulate our members of the DCP who won the seats. A member of County Assembly in Kariobangi, a member of the County Assembly in Narok Town, and member of the County Assembly in Kisa East, that is in Kakamega. I also wish to say thank you, a big high up to our member who missed narrowly in Polko Ward, And also Magarini MP, who lost narrowly. I mean, he came number 2 for a party which is about 6 months old, not yet launched officially. That's a big thing. But also, Dennis, I was also to echo very, very quickly our united opposition. We won in the one of the hotly contested in Bungoma. You know what I mean? In Chichwere. We won there, the independent candidate that we were supporting. But also 3 MCA positions previously held by the government. We won in Nyamira, and also we were able to give a very good appearances. We won in Mumboni, of course, and others. There was 1 senator, 6 MPs, 17 MCAs. We never, of course, many of them we were not Tana River, in Nandi, Lagos Malkwet, Samburu, and all that. But the ones we contested, there was a good show. But let me ask you a question. This is what happens. We went to an election whereby the government was committed, was like, we don't care about whatever happens, but we must win the parliamentary seats, just to show that we are strong. So that's where the whole thing started. And the point whereby there was massive, I would say, a lot of massive voter bribery, violence, to a point where in one incident in Mbeere North, one of the cabinet secretaries literally stormed a police station, ordered all the agents to get out, and took off with the ballot box without being counted. So they went counted on their own and dedicated, you guys will give you 100, then ourselves 400.
Dr. Mbai, the cabinet secretary went, took a ballot box and disappeared.
Literally. He went, caused some drama. I mean, some stuff, went off, and then police came, he went in, he targeted the agents so they can get off. But what is interesting, finally they sent us a form purportedly signed by our own agent with fake signatures, and he took off. And so what happened? Results came 134 polling stations, right? 100 results. Then it is stored. Then I knew this thing is serious. But what is interesting? Political parties, you can do whatever you want to do, but where IBC is involved, that's where the whole issue is, Dennis. Actually, one of which, because what we said fine. You got it 9-0. You got it 9. But right now, there's a team that is going to court. We are waiting for the CJI to gazette. The electoral court, we are going to go, that's the law, yeah? The CJ has to gazette. We want to lay bare whatever happened, so that now it becomes a lesson to all of us here. Thank God we have the time, because if that's what they are planning to do in 2027, it's one thing to have an opponent called government, but it's another thing to have IBC at the center of those kind of allegations. We are investigating reports. Now, this is very important. We are investigating reports that some people out of Mbeere came and voted, especially from Muranga. They were called 2-3 days ago. We got information. You come with your ID, you are going to vote. Or we thought, how? Then others from Nakuru, the same case. We had to, quite a number of people, 200 of them. But now afterwards, people are coming out to speak, because incidentally, they are not paid all the money. They are saying, yes, we went, and they explained to us how they voted. So we are saying, lawyers, up to you. We want to demonstrate.
How did they vote in polling stations where they were not registered?
I can tell you this according to the information that we got, and of course I can say allegedly voted. We have thrown all this matter to our team in Mbeere. We have lawyers, 15 of them sitting today and tomorrow, going back to ask IBC to answer some questions. We don't want them to be answered through the media. We don't want those questions to be answered in public arrest. We want them to be answered in a court of law. It's going to be very simple. Just come tell us, who are these people who voted? Did you discover? UDA never celebrated. Now, if the statistics we got last night from a team of lawyers, you can see the numbers. The numbers that were supposed to vote in the gentleman, and the numbers that were supposed to vote in the candidate we are supporting, the numbers couldn't match. And you can see the mood. When you win, there's a mood. But the mood was like, they did it. They went to visit some children's homes because they knew the popular vote is not there. But let me tell you the final one. Up to now, Dennis Arnold, we don't know who was our opponent. We don't know whether it is Leo Wamuthende'S or whether it is Leonard Njero. Even today, IBC has not answered. We ask them, please tell us, who are we going to these elections with? So the basic question we are going to put before the judge, please judge, help us to understand. Kenyans are waiting. Tell us whether it is Leonard Njero, the man who appeared in the register of 2022. Remember, in Mbeere North, there was no chance to change the names, because where there were by-elections, the register was not opened. So the man who appeared finally was Wamuthende'S, but he was not appearing in the register. Those are the questions we want answered. Why? Because we may have, they may have stolen this one, but we want to make a statement to this country. We want to find out the integrity of our systems and whether IBC can be trusted to take us to the next place. Right now, IBC is on the spot.
All right. So Bonabuya, did you notice any of the same things in Homa Bay? Because we also know that the Kasipul the constituency by-election took place, and this is a Homa Bay constituency. Did you notice that there was anything, or did this election go according to plan and everything went well?
Thank you. Before I touch on Kasipul, please allow me to observe a few things. Number one, the most important day today, the World AIDS Day.
World AIDS Day, yes.
Yeah, I want to encourage those living with HIV/AIDS, those who are affected, those who are infected, that collectively, individually, we can kick HIV/AIDS in Kenya as envisioned by the health experts by 2030. You are not alone. You have God on your side. Let us live positively and responsibly. Secondly, please allow me to also observe and make a few comments on my fellow panelists here. Thank you, Dennis, for bringing up this very beautiful proverb: "A lion that kills, a lion that riles, does not kill any game." This actually tells us about, if you could, I could listen, Dr. Can I be honest? Should I be honest with you?
Please, we are here.
Yeah. If this kind of serious allegations comes from a planning director, I believe so, of DCP, then I don't think Rigiji and the team needs any other enemy. Because if this is the kind of rhetoric, wild, imagined allegations that are made after a process, why do I say that? The people of Mbere constituency actually knew who they want. And I also want to remind my brother here that in law, I do not know so much about this gentleman called Wamuthend'S in person. I believe that the law allows people to change names and patent identities. How I pray that my good friend here, Daktari, could have done due diligence and found out when was this done.
Did you find out?
I'm asking him. He should find out as somebody who becomes from the mountain. And this is where, their leadership is widely contested. I also wanted to ask that, it is interesting how DCP, led by my brother here, celebrates wins they had for a few MCAs by DCP party. Yet, he discredits the same IBC that officiated the same wins that he celebrates, that IBC is not credible, where he lost. That is also very interesting. Moving forward, my sister, talking about Homa Bay. Homa Bay, I want to register with the citizens that in Homa Bay County, those who are competing were basically those who stand for the two-term movement, either as independent, as MDG, as ODM, or any other affiliated party. So I want to say that in Homa Bay Kasipul by-election, it was a friendly fire from people who believe in the presidency and the re-election of President William Samoei Ruto.
Oh, okay.
However, there were isolated incidences of violence, like the one we saw meted on my good friend Honorable Peter Kaluma and other citizens. That was uncalled for, and collectively and individually I condemn it. That was not necessary. We want a way. One of the things that people from my end, and I want to work on as an individual, as the chair for UDA in Homa Bay, and I will pool my colleagues across Nyanza region, is to work in a way that our competition internally does not scare away our voters, so that we kill voter apathy.
You have competition internally?
Of course, we are living in a multi-democratic state. We have personal interests as members of UDA, that those who are members of UDA will be competing against each other. Obviously, we have sister parties. We have people who are going to support President William Ruto, like we witnessed in this by-election, who would be running as independent and from other smaller parties.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to look at the process of these elections, because oftentimes process is where the devil hides in the details. We saw an entire election in 2017